All right, so let's get into the Heat's plan. 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour here on the Hockman and Crowder Show, brought to you by Funky Buddha Brewery. Check out funkybuddhabrewery.com. I know their 12-year anniversary party was a huge success. It was a lot of fun last Saturday as well. And everybody knows we love Funky Buddha. All right. So, again, I'm just reading in the Miami Herald from Barry Jackson. And it's titled, "What is Heat's plan to get back to championship contention? Some insight on their thinking." All anyone wants is a plan. The angry social media mob of Heat fans who demand action, any transaction at all. The ones who aren't appeased by the 2 finals appearances this decade want a plan. The significant segment of fans who do appreciate the 7 finals appearances this century and how the organization fields a relevant professional product most every year also want a plan. It's reasonable for any fan to expect a clearly conveyed plan after a disappointing start to the offseason in the wake of an embarrassing first-round sweep against Cleveland. It's reasonable, Barry Jackson writes, to expect an explanation when Miami still has 13 of the 15 players that were on the team at the end of a 37-45 season, and after team president Pat Riley said in May that, quote, "I think we do have to make changes. There's no doubt there has to be some change." Though it hasn't been publicly stated, the Heat actually has a plan. And it's probably the most realistic one at this point, even though it will be unsatisfying to some. So here we go. Again, MiamiHerald.com. According to people with direct knowledge, Miami's intention is to, quote, "let our young guys show what they can do and see what this team looks like with Eric Spoelstra having a full training camp, with the Jimmy Butler distraction in the rearview mirror, and with first-round pick Kasparis Yakuchonis, or KJ, or Kaz, added to a core." I threw that in there, by the way.
I like Kaz.
Barry Jackson did not, but I did. Added to a core of young players that the organization believes has a high upside. Part 2 of the plan is to try to quickly pounce if an in his prime star or very good player becomes available in the trade market. And then he goes on to point out it has been widely reported that Giannis Antetokounmpo will be a Heat target if he asks out of Milwaukee. That's very unlikely. Whether the Heat has enough assets to compete with the likes of Houston, the Spurs, the Knicks in a bid for the 2-time MVP remains questionable. And then, Barry, I really do recommend that everybody go and read this article, because I think Barry does an excellent job at not only reporting on the situation, but also kind of laying out, what Miami could have to offer, what best case scenario would be in terms of this year with young players kind of taking that next step. We don't have time to read the whole thing, but Crowder, I think Barry, in a much more eloquent way, kind of states what I've been saying, which is the Miami Heat believe, and look, whether you agree with this or not is fine. You can disagree, but the Miami Heat believe that it is in their best interest right now, based on what has been made available to them and based on what is genuinely available out there, to remain flexible, keep Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, and try to give their young guys more opportunity to play. And how we know that is because they didn't trade any of their young guys for Kevin Durant.
No.
So they made that decision. We'd rather play our young guys. We'd rather keep them. We'd rather remain flexible for the upcoming offseason, where we're going to be a team under the cap, and we're going to have options rather than trade for a 37-year-old and pay him $100+ million over 2 years to be a team that maybe has a chance to compete in the East, maybe. And that is their plan. Because what's frustrated me throughout this entire process, Crowder and NFL, is not that fans want a better team. I agree. You think I want to leave the Kaseya Center and watch the Heat go under 500 at home, lose 10 straight in March, and then literally get blown out in the most humiliating fashion I've ever seen a professional team go out on their home floor in the playoffs? Like, no. But I also don't want the Heat to just make acquisitions and make transactions for the sake of doing it. And I think that is where, it gets conflated. People on social media want the team to be better. Awesome. But they also just want acquisitions. They want news. They want Shams to tweet about the Miami Heat. And while, yes, that's fun. Don't get me wrong. That's fun. It's not always the best case scenario when you're in a tough position like the Miami Heat are. And I think right now, the better option is to do what they're doing, even though we don't want to see it, even though nobody wants to see them run it back. I'm with you. It's the better option if it means being flexible when the next superstar is available.
But Solana, we've been a lot of advice today, giving Josh, baby advice and, different advices about life. Is an old saying, what it takes to get them is what it takes to keep them. So the Heat fans are used to us being involved in every talk, being involved in every offseason, being involved in every acquisition. Pat's out there doing his thing. Pat's going to get a sit down with KD, a sit down with Giannis, a sit down with Bron, a sit down with anybody. And so that's what got Heat fans loving it. Championships and being involved in every single acquisition, wanting to be a part of Shams' Twitter feed because we know that Pat's out there working. Now you can't say, let's stay flexible. It sounds lame. I understand what it is, and you laid it out perfectly. And what was it? That was Barry Jackson.
Yeah.
Barry laid it out perfectly. But that's not how you sold me on the Heat when I got there in 05.
Yeah.
You sold me on the Heat in 05. 06, you went and got Shaq. Then we had the big three. Then you went and got Jimmy, which I didn't believe in, and we went to 2 finals. That's what got me to become a Heat fan. You can't sell me. I'm talking personally me now, Solana. Don't sell me on 2027 flexibility, because now we're running it back. But on the other side, too, we brought it up earlier. Halliburton, Siakam, Nembhard, Naismith. What's the little itchy bitchy spider? McDonald, the little white boy.
McConnell.
From Indiana, TJ McConnell.
McConnell, the dude that went crazy, Matherin.
Yeah.
Those guys, could we do that? That would be like the upside of, I did not know Naismith's name until the finals. I didn't know who Nembhard was. I still don't know TJ McConnell's name. Obviously, I had to ask you. Is that what we're trying to push towards? Because that's what it would be. Obi Toppin is putting in big minutes. Is that what we're pushing towards? Because I'm not used to trying to build a team like that. I got down here in 05 for 21 years being here, Solana. You got me with it. You can't tell me we're trying to have cap flexibility in 2 years. I can't deal with that. And I think I'm speaking for a lot of Heat fans.
It's definitely a tough sell when they were involved in Kevin Durant. They were involved in Damian Lillard. And so it's easy to say now when those deals and those offers get turned down that, now we're pivoting and we're going to wait till 26, 27, the following offseason. But I think it was Tobin who made this point. It's that if you believe in these young guys and you think so highly of them that you are going to hang on to them and not trade them away because adding one guy is too much to handle and too much to stomach parting ways with, commit to it and let them play through their mistakes and let them learn on the court, right? That's the biggest frustration, I think, is that if what they say publicly about believing in these guys isn't backed up with the amount they're actually getting time on the court playing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Those guys, Niko Jovic and Kel'el Ware specifically, those two, because Jaime, you're kind of just hoping, hey, sophomore slump, he was dealing with injury, and hopefully. Niko Jovic and Kel'el Ware, don't do that. Those two guys have to play 25 plus minutes per game next season.
Let them play through it.
And they have to have good seasons too. I'm not saying they have to be all-stars, but they have to have good seasons because you drew your line in the sand. Hey, we're not willing to give up these guys unless it means Giannis, right? Unless it really means one of the top stars in the NBA. The reason why I thought Barry does a really good job here is because he outlines hey, there's a plan. Don't get it twisted. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, Pat has no plan. Pat is just whiffing on guys. Dude, it's ridiculous to think that everybody in that room, because of 2 frustrating ass years, don't get me wrong, they should have known Jimmy Butler was going to make a stink. They should have traded him. The fact that the last free agent that they signed is Kyle Lowry or traded for is hard to swallow. They've made mistakes. I'm not saying that this front office should not be criticized. They should. being a 37-win team is embarrassing. 3 years in the playing tournament, even though one ends up being a finals run, is embarrassing. Like, that's not the standard here. It shouldn't be accepted. But for people to sit here on social media the past couple days and be frustrated, fine. But to sit there and say, Pat Riley's washed, Pat Riley doesn't know how the NBA works anymore, I'm just not going to buy into that. I'm sorry. Have they whiffed? Sure. Should they have made different decisions? Sure. Bro, this team, in my lifetime, with that ownership and with that leadership, has been the most successful team in Miami in my lifetime. And now, kudos to Bill Zito and the Panthers. They deserve all the love right now. But because of 2 bad years, you're going to punt on Pat Riley? No. I'm sorry. I don't understand that. And I won't. And I'm not going to do the thing that everybody's doing on social media because it's the cool thing to do right now, which is call for Pat Riley to step down. I refuse to do that. That, to me, is asinine. 5 years from now, if you're still in the same situation, or 3 years from now, or 2 years from now, you're still in the same situation, then, okay, let's have the conversation. But because of 2 bad years, after you went to 2 NBA finals and 3 Eastern Conference finals in a span of 5 years, which, by the way, followed a stretch where people were all saying the same thing. I remember they paid Dion and James Johnson and Hassan Whiteside. Everybody, including myself, was upset with how they handled the Wade thing. People were calling for Pat to step down back then too. And what ended up happening, what followed it? 3 Eastern Conference Finals appearance, and you went to 2 NBA Finals.
Yeah, to step down. And who's going to, I always say, you know what? It just goes back to where the Knicks about to hire Mike Brown. We hate Thibodeau. Okay, fire him. What were they? They were head coachless for a month? Yeah. Who's going to replace Pat?
Just
nobody wants to replace Pat Riley. You're going to fail. It's ridiculous.
I refuse. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, you're just caping up for the Heat. And I refuse to sit here today, of all days. And I'm frustrated as hell. I love Duncan, and they move on from Duncan for Simone Fontecchio. And I'm not necessarily thrilled. I don't love the deal. All I know about Simone Fontecchio is that, he's Italian like Appel's doing, and he lit the Heat up back in 2023 for 23 points, which is a career high for him, and he's a streaky shooter, and, you fill in that gap. The Heat, as it sits today, I don't love this roster. Nobody should. No. They were a 37-win team last year.
Yeah.
But if you genuinely believe that with a full offseason's work, Andrew Wiggins is going to come back and look as bad as he did last year, then, you genuinely, you want this team to fail so that it proves your narrative right. I'm not buying it, man. I don't think they're a championship contender. I'm cool if they're shopping Wiggins, if they're shopping Rozier. I'm cool with that. Go make this team better. I don't want them to run it back. But if they do, I'm not at that point where I'm calling for Riley's head. Like, Heat fans are they're out of their mind. And to the people who are saying nobody's going to show up next season,
that's crazy.
I mean, bro, the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. And people go, you know why? Because the Dolphins, I get it's the NFL, but the Dolphins built something extraordinarily special, Crowder, in the 70s, the 80s, and even in the 90s with Marino. They built something extraordinarily special, and people love that, and they hold on to that, and they cherish it, so they're going to be Dolphins fans. It is what it is, despite 25 years of a franchise that has been run incorrectly. No offense to your 1-15 team.
Hey.
So now you're telling me 20-plus years of the Heat building something extraordinary, something that's rare.
They've gained equity in this town.
Because of 3 seasons, which one you were in the NBA Finals, that have been frustrating, people are going to punt on this organization? I'm sorry. There's a difference between expecting a standard, which I'm with you. There should be a standard that is upheld, which is championship or bust, and saying, hey, they've gone through 2 bad years. Get the old man out of here. And I'm nowhere near there. Nowhere near there yet. Absolutely nowhere near.
I think a lot of people need to come back to reality, because Pat Riley is going to decide when he's done running the Miami Heat. He is not going to be told, hey, it's time for you to retire. So you're just wasting breath in trying to get him.
We're talking about literally
one of the
like
best of all time.
One of right. His resume speaks for itself. Fine, but we're talking about somebody who literally is known for being a psychopath when it comes to just how he handles business, and he hasn't been lately. That's fair, granted. This guy, you think Pat Riley wants to go out on these terms? No, like you think he's not trading for Durant because he's just bored, or he's like
he's fishing.
Right,
It's Mahi season. He's just hanging out.
I just don't understand. I don't understand the
Neither.
rationale. I truthfully, in my heart of hearts, I believe fans are more preoccupied with push notifications than they are with the reality and just being rational about a situation.
I'm glad you said push notification. I hope this is the loud minority with the foolishness of saying get rid of Pat now after 2 years, get rid of Pat. I thought about it when you were talking about people saying fire Pat. I'm like, fire Pat Riley, the best executive in NBA history?
Yeah.
Chaz, my 5-year-old, if I yell at him or I won't let him eat a popsicle, he says, which is funny to me, I'm going to go live with Michael Jordan. And that's his thing, is that he knows, Michael Jordan, he has all the shoes. And so Michael Jordan is like the greatest thing in his mind. And he's a better person than me because he's Michael Jordan. And he says, I'm going to go, you're not doing what I want you to do, Daddy. I want to go live with Michael Jordan. It's kind of like these fans are children. Oh, we didn't get KD. Well, we need to fire everybody to move on. No, you don't. You need to trust the process. You need to work off the equity you're talking about of 20 years and championships and what is it? The Wade one, the two with the 3 with Wade, 1 with Shaq, 2 with LeBron and them boys, and then the appearances with Jimmy. He is going to figure it out. What's the difference between, you brought it up, the James Johnson, the 41 and 41 year, and these last 2 years? People were pissed then. We're riding with James Johnson, Deion Waiters, and that's all he could do at that moment. Then he went and figured it out. Why can't you do it again? Stop being goldfish. If you're hungry, you haven't been hungry forever. Like goldfish mind, sports fans. Goldfish, if they're hungry, they've been hungry their whole life. If they're full, they've been full their whole life. Don't be a goldfish fan. Really look at the whole totality of it. We're in a great situation with the Miami Heat, Pat Riley, and the owner, the GM, the head coach. We have, I would say probably the best. Is it the best tower in the NBA? An owner that's going to spend money, a Hall of Fame general manager, and a Hall of Fame head coach. That's what you want.
Yeah, and what drives me nuts? People are like, "Oh, Mickey Harrison's cheap. He doesn't want to spend money." And I'm sitting here, I'm saying, bro, they tried to get Damian Lillard. They tried to get Damian Lillard. Joe Cronin, his dumbass,
I hate him.
Didn't want to deal with the Miami Heat. How's that the Heat's front office? How's that their fault? That's Mickey Harrison's fault. You don't want to. Oh, he's cheap. You don't want to pay. Bro, instead, Joe Cronin not only tanked his franchise, he tanked the Heat and he tanked the stupid Bucks.
He tanked everybody.
And now here we are 2 years later. Dame is getting waived by the Bucks, which he never wanted to be there in the first place. And Drew Holiday is making $30 million a year, 27, whatever, to play on a bum-ass Blazers team. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Anyways. Thanks for letting me rant a little.
It's okay. You get very passionate. I saw it in your eyes.
Nah, I mean,
I saw it in your eyes, man.
Because
you good.
I'm pissed off too, man. I want the Heat
see.
to be good. I want the Heat to be good.
Your bottom lip is dry.
Yeah, it is very dry.
That's
I don't have
dry,
any water.
dry. You need something because that thing's about to bleed here in a second.
Ooh.
I got chapstick, but you probably. I know you got mono.
Would we share? Would you share chapstick with me?
No.
Would you share chapstick with me?
No.
Jimmy, would you share chapstick with me?
Absolutely not.
I got you.
You would share with me, Appel?
Absolutely. If you need a chapstick, I got you.
You would rub on his lips and then back on your lips? Oh, y'all let dogs kiss y'all in the mouth. Never mind. Y'all are nasty mouthed.
Pick up your dog's poop.
No, Jack, I don't play it. I don't dabble in feces.
If you don't know what we're talking about, use the Odyssey app. I don't want to get back into that.